You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
I hope you're ready. This is going to be exciting.
Here we go, Corey starts up to go. Green flag is out and we're underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. He's gonna win it here in spectacular fashion.
From Auto Club Speedway, the
INVets Goat Locker Racing Truck Series is ready to get it on in Elimination Week right here on the left coast. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Playoff Truck Series racing like you've never seen before. We're finally ready with just 2 weeks left in the season altogether to crown a champion right here in the INVets GLR Truck Series. Dave Regal alongside of my broadcast partner extraordinaire, Mr. Jordan Brockell, where we'll be with you every step of the way, from the green flag to the checkered flag, right here on Sim Racing Media. And Jordan, as always, glad to have you with us here in the Tony Trepass Memorial Broadcast booth. And what excitement we have in store tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you've got a bunch of drivers here that are just trying to get to that Final Four and make a run for the championship. And it's going to be kind of elbows out more than ever. And, if you can't win the championship, at least you could say you were a part of the Final Four. So a lot of those guys just looking to at least get into that and then at least have a chance. So it's going to be interesting to see how some of these guys handle that pressure.
Yeah, I mean, this season has been full of pressure, so as it is all year long. I mean, one of the things that we've talked about is the fact that, these races are not, full-length races or even half-length. I mean, we're 70 laps at, of course, this 1.5 mile, 2 mile oval in Fontana, California. And the thing is, at least from my money, I'm looking at this going, you know what, if we can turn up the heat a little bit, shorten the race, we're going to see some incredible racing. And, of course, right now we see some incredible qualifying as Sean Kaiser is sitting atop the pile. He laid down a 39.99 second qualifying effort, and that beats out Charles Abert by about 0.5, just about 0.06 seconds. I mean, he is quick tonight, Kaiser is.
Yeah, and it's another one of those guys that's just kind of here to, run, get familiar with the series, I believe. Another guy that maybe just popped in, maybe trying to go after Whitley's streak, lost the streak on last Monday of, consecutive wins that he's in, but still holding the consecutive Truck Series win streak going right now.
Yeah, let's take a peek at that. I mean, first of all, Whitley picked up another win, and there's no stopping him as he got win number 6. And as we conclude this round of 8 here at Auto Club, the question really becomes, where is Mark Whitley going to put that 74? Right now it looks like he's qualified in the top 5. So a long night for him ahead for sure, because he basically has put himself, at least for my money, a giant target on his back. And speaking of which, let's take a look at those playoff 8 drivers. You're going to see them highlighted in light blue in our timing tower in just a few minutes. But, of course, we have the 72. That's Joseph McWhorter. They're leading our points. And then, I'm sorry, not leading them, but sitting atop the pile. Per se, he is leading. Travis Bieber, Big David Duke, Charles Haber, and, of course, then we have Brandon Wallace. Now, right now, those top 4 that you can see there are well, for lack of a better term, they're above the cut line. Jeremiah Holt, Charles Haber, Kevin Price, and Jamie Libke, they are below the cut line. So we're going to have to watch a lot of that coming toward us as, of course, we get ready to rock and roll tonight. We want to congratulate our Jam Printing and Promotions qualified Pole Award winner. There we go. It's not like we haven't been doing this for the last several weeks, but our Pole Award winner out of Plainfield, Indiana. We are local and we are veteran certified, and when we do well, we can do more good in the community. Since forming in 2013, JAM has contributed printing and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They have been with Goat Locker Racing since the very beginning, and they provide GLR with all promotional items, including shirts, hats, decals, dog tags, you name it. JAM is GLR's go-to promotional company, and they, of course, sponsor our Pole Award across all of our series here on Goat Locker Racing. And, one of the things that I think is really starting to sink in tonight is we're only 2 weeks away from the end of our season here in the Truck Series, and of course tomorrow night going to be the finale of our ARCA series right here on Sim Racing Media. But before we get ourselves all up in our feels, if you will, let's take a look at that starting lineup Sean Kaiser, as I had mentioned, driving the 43 to the front row here in the night vision Napa machine. He is going to lead us off from the pole position. Charles Abert sits in P2 on the outside of row number 1, while Kyle Wilson and Barrett Morton hold things together in row number 2. Row 3 going to feature Mark Whitley, our 6th win in a row driver, alongside of Travis Bieber out of Ole, Pennsylvania, in the 114 Valvoline Chevrolet Silverado. Of course, Andy Kurtz, really this Pennsylvania Mafia, the 114, the 48, and the 808, all starting around one another. Andy Kurtz from Quakertown, PA, and Brett Bieber, also from Ole, PA, starting in 8th position. 9th and 10th going to be Mark Cofield and Big David Duke, while playoff driver Jamie Libke and Jeremiah Holt going to be starting in row number 6. Row 7 going to feature Kyle Deering and James Kaufman, while Brandon Wallace and Matt Knights hold things together in row number 8. Corinne Smith and Kevin Price going to be in row number 9, while Noah Hoagie Hogard going to be in row number 10 alongside of Brock Price. Dan Craighkeel, our race director, and Joseph McWhorter, they'll be in row 11, with Douglas Macedo starting shotgun on the field tonight. 23 drivers scheduled to take the green flag, as Joseph McWhorter going to be shuffled to the rear. Tyler Justice and Bobby Whitley not going to be making it in the field this evening, as Sean Kaiser brings us down the backstretch.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things where now things are going to start settling in for some of these playoff drivers that, you know, it's go time, it's time to get ready to go, and time to figure things out here.
These drivers are going to have 70 laps to figure things out, as you say. Quick look at the track conditions. 77 degrees on the asphalt, 76 degrees in the virtual stands, as the iRacing.com pace car brings us into the 3-4 complex. And as we come out of turn 3 and roll into turn 4 past that Royal Purple Auto Club banner on the right-hand side, the iRacing.com pace truck peels on down pit road. And that means, folks, that the only thing that's left to do is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab your popcorn, your honey buns, and settle in. Race fans, it's show time! Green flag in the air, and off we go at Auto Club.
You see them already still side by side through the first turn. Not very many people getting a massive edge here. Oh, it looks like sideways there for the 403 of Wilson. He's going to drop like a rock.
Yeah, Wilson already falling through here. Kyle Wilson back in the 403, now on a recovery drive, all but taking it 3 wide, as he's going to have to gather that truck back up. He slides just underneath Joseph McWhorter as we close out lap number 1. I want to thank everybody for tuning in here on Sim Racing Media and, of course, hanging out with us all season long. As now we bring it back across the front stretch, it looks like Sean Kaiser going to get credit for leading that first lap, as they are single file 1 through 3. Barrett Morton in that 9 machine in the Riley's House Chevrolet Silverado, now starting to anchor that top 3. It looks like now we've got 4 and 5 trucks single file as the 808 of Brett Bieber tries to go single file, but now the 97, and we see this almost every week, Mark Cofield trying to challenge those drivers ahead of him.
Yeah, and these guys are going to really, oh, that's a nice dive down to the inside by the 7 machine there. You're going to see a lot of the, Morton and Cofield side by side get into each other, but it's going to be a very aero-dependent track with Auto Club down these straightaways, trying to pull side drafts, trying to pull that truck in front of you back a little bit, trying to gain a little bit through air as well. So it's going to be a tough race for some of these guys. You're going to want to keep that nose as clean as possible.
Sliding back here to Brett Bieber in the 808 Goodwrench Chevrolet. He's just over top of the 78 of Big David Duke. Travis Bieber, his brother, just laid down fast time in the race at 40.24 seconds. He goes purple on the timing line. But all these drivers, oh wow, all of a sudden Bieber in the thick of things. Look at this mess. If one person farts the oh God, the 90s, oh good Lord. I'm a big guy. A scare like that could give me the heart attack that finally takes me down.
Yeah, certainly all season long these guys have been putting it on the line and certainly giving you a little bit of making sure the ticker's running well.
Watching Jeremiah Holt and Brandon Wallace here in the 99. Now, Wallace, also a playoff driver as well as Holt. Right now, they're kind of buried as Travis Bieber looks to secure that spot in the championship 4. He takes over the lead as Sean Kaiser has slipped back into third position. Travis Bieber, Andy Kurtz, and Brett Bieber, they are your race leaders. Travis Bieber, your playoff driver, highest running playoff driver. Next up there is Charles Abert. We see him here in that lucky number 7 out of Centralia, Washington. Not to be confused with Centralia, Pennsylvania, the town that's on fire.
That's not funny, but
it's not funny. It's hilarious. There's been a coal mine on fire for more than 50 years, and they just let it go.
That's an interesting thing I have to look up later.
I'll send you some links. They do still have an operating firehouse. Don't ask me why. There's 8 people, and there's 8 people, 6 cockroaches, and 2 deer left in that town. Jeremiah Holt now running 2 spots shy of where he had started back in 14th position. He's got the 73, running in 14th now for the time being. I'm starting, as he starts to exchange positions with Joseph McWhorter, it almost seems like McWhorter has wanted to back off for the time being. Auto Club not as technical of a track as some people think it is, but at the same time, as you had mentioned, very aero dependent. Let's watch this battle as the 78 of Big David Duke starting to look in here to the inside of now the number 9 of Barrett Morton, as he, for the time being, takes away 8th position, does David Duke.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not technical, but it's certainly, you've got to be very mindful of, where your truck is, in relation to another truck. Can you pull a draft? Should you try to run a shorter line to try to gain some time? It's all in just the mental, setting yourself up for success as best as possible to make a run forward.
Another playoff, Jamie Libke here in the 16. All of a sudden, it seems like it's real hairy from 9th back through 13th, 14th now. A lot of playoff drivers in this neck of the woods. And take a look here at the Lambda Legal Toyota Tundra. She's already up 1 position, is Jamie, running in 10th position and being very patient. This is how she got into the playoffs in the first place, but she's going to have to win to get into that round of 4.
Yeah, and it's a long uphill battle for that, but Jamie has certainly been proving that they're able to do so, and has definitely grown within both series that we've watched on Sundays for trucks and Mondays for ARCA. Watch them grow all the way up into running into the top 10, running into the top 5 there, here and there. So if they're gonna have their breakthrough, it's gonna be here.
Speaking of Jamie, she says vroom vroom in our YouTube.com live chat. Want to welcome everybody in and thank you for joining us on YouTube.com. Dave Riegel and Jordan Brockell with you every week here, as we've been for the last several months. Want to thank all of you for hanging out with us for all these weeks.
Yeah, something I'm noticing here is you've got a big pack of that bright blue of those playoff drivers, and then, just as I went to say something, and thankfully it was that Bieber and not the other one that I was about to talk about, but you can see that thing's definitely got a busted up right front as it's hopping and skipping across the front stretch there.
Well, watch the 97. Now, the 97, if we go back to right here at the beginning of this clip, the 97 gets below the 808 of Brett Bieber, flashes, and it's almost like the net code thrown off by the 97 sent Bieber up into the wall.
Oh, so when you say net code, it's fine, but when I say net code, it's suddenly I blame it on everything.
You blamed like 7 incidents in a row on net code.
Because with how good these drivers are, 99.9% of the time, it's got some kind of net code to do with it, in my honest opinion. You know, I just sit here and watch them each and every week, you know.
Oh, there we go. There's the qualification. I watch these all the time. Does it mean that you spend too much time in the simulator when I'm driving down a road and I see a car get blown back and forth in the wind and think, net code?
I mean, yeah, that's the IRL net code. I mean, what do you want from me?
Is it a bad sign if I see, you know, let's just say an undesirable walking down the street, and I played way too much Grand Theft Auto, and I think I could just hit them with the door, take their money, and drive away. Nobody would notice.
No, I mean, I mean, video games didn't plague your mind.
No, not at all. It's fine.
Oh, good old Grand Theft Auto.
Travis Bieber, Andy Kurtz, and Mark Hofield, your top three here. Sean Kaiser has already dropped back into third position. And don't look now, but Big David Duke now looks to the inside of the 9. But Bellingham, Massachusetts native Sean Kaiser, our pole sitter, sits in fourth. Big David Duke trying to slice his way up here like it is a piece of cheesecake, and I don't see that happening easily for him. Travis Bieber, Andy Kurtz, and Mark Cofield all up a combined 16 spots, 5 for Kurtz and Bieber, and 6 for Cofield. That's a lot of ground covered by 3 drivers.
Sorry, big David Duke threaded the needle there on the back bumper of Morton, and it just scared me just a touch. I couldn't refrain from yelling.
And while my partner gathers himself, Jeremiah Holt running in 14th position. We take a look from high above the racetrack. 15 laps of 70 in the books tonight. He's just behind the 403 of Kyle Wilson. Wilson, of course, started on the inside of row 2 and has now fallen all the way back down to 15th position. So it's going to be another rough night ahead for Kyle Wilson, who now exchanges positions with the 73. And it looks like Jeremiah Holt going to try to hold his own here. Our lowest running member of the playoff drivers is, of course, Kevin Price back here in the 80 machine. He's having a pretty rough night, partner.
Yeah, and I mean, Kevin's had some decent runs here, and you know now just it proves it just being here in this round, the consistency that he's had, just needs to find just a touch of something to be able to move up through this field and find a way forward. But with losing some ground to the trucks in front of him, it's going to be hard to kind of run this track, as again it's very aero dependent down the straightaways.
Speaking of which, there was a good picture of that aero dependency as the 48 was all but hooked onto the rear bumper of our race leader, Travis Bieber. We want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight. Of course, we especially want to thank our friends at INVets. INVets was founded by veterans and for veterans, and they aid in transitioning to civilian life, focusing on job placement and finding the right community for veterans and their families to ensure success and happiness. They are a veteran nonprofit here in Indiana with the goal of bringing veterans to that state to live and work, and they, of course, are our title sponsor of the Sunday Truck Series. We also want to tip our cap and salute Lincoln Tech. Lincoln's mission is to provide superior education and training to our students for in-demand careers in a supportive, accessible learning environment, transforming students' lives and adding value to their communities. They are one of the largest automotive technology schools in the nation with 23 campuses, and they are the title sponsor of all of our series here in the Spring Series, and they are a huge partner of GLR. And speaking of huge, Andy Kurtz is suddenly taking over the lead from Travis Bieber as we have a 3-way battle for P1, and it looks like it's going to be all down to 5 drivers for P1 right now.
Yeah, and it's really, you only see David Duke diving down to the low side, getting blocked by Kaiser. Gonna hook him!
Oh!
No!
Oh, no!
All over the bumper that he could, and they get a little squirrely there, and it just hooks the 43 to the outside. We stay green for the time being.
Oh, my. Well, let's see if we can perhaps run this back. I mean, the 43 was running really strong as he had climbed his way back up here into that battle for the lead right before, of course, all things went a little sideways. Let's take a look again as we go through here. The 78 drifting to the high side, throwing the block at the 9, gets down under the 43, loosens himself up, gets a run on the 43, and just takes him right out and puts him in the wall. But we stay green.
And that right there, I mean, that's just racing. I mean, the 78 racing for a lot right here, trying to get to the next, final championship round. And, if he lets up just a touch there, he could end up in the clutches of the 9. The 9 gets into him. A ton of different things could have happened. So, I mean, him just trying to stay right there to the back bumper of the 43, try to push him forward. And, once you kind of get squirreling back and forth, one guy goes left, one guy goes right, and then, ultimately just meet in the middle and end up getting hooked there. And, I mean, it's a bummer for the 43, but the 78, he's got something to race for, and he's right here looking to take over P2 and charge forward to try to take away the lead here from Travis Bieber as he gets right to the inside, down to the inside of the 114. Andy Kurtz fighting outside here, giving a shove to Travis, but Duke fighting strong on the bottom there with Morton just waiting in the distance there. 78 with a good run off the corner. Going to move, start to move up, but not clear there. Still side by side down the backstretch. I'm getting excited here, partner.
I can tell you're getting excited. I'm trying to look here, and for some reason, I thought there was something to the 78, at least. Oh, jeez!
Something with Bieber there. I don't know if that. I mean, it looks like a scheduled stop is Bieber, McWhorter, Kaufman, Deering, Knights, and Smith all coming down here, but I don't know if the message got relayed to the 78 quick enough, or it wasn't on his mind as he's focused in on that race lead.
Well, I had it wrong. The 78 was not subject to any penalties in any of our other series. I was looking for one, but it was not him.
Yeah, now you see here, Kurtz the leader, and now suddenly the highest playoff driver after Bieber making the pit stop is none other than Libke, as Libke stays on the track to take over the race lead, get a lead lap there.
Now you watch, the 78 came down pit. Wow. You know what? I don't want to get in Dan Crakeel's way. But I got a feeling he's probably not very happy with Big David Duke right now.
No, but I mean, Duke just throwing caution to the wind, just trying anything he can here tonight to just, again, keep moving forward. I mean, there's a championship on the line. It's out there in front of his, it's like the old school graphic of like the animal with the carrot, on the string and waving it in front of his face. It's right there, and he's just running towards it.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like you'd do a lot better if you held like a hot dog or a cheesesteak or something.
Oh, don't bring up hot dogs, because I did the math between going to the racetrack down here and going to the O's game on was it Friday, and just general eatery. I've had probably about 12 to 14 hot dogs in the last 7 or 8 days.
I am so proud of you right now. You, sir, I am proud of. Now, I had a couple on Friday night at the ballpark in Reading, but
I had 3.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, sir. I am. You know
See,
what?
Now, if anybody that listens or will listen, if they're in the Maryland area or close enough to go to Baltimore to see an O's game, the Maryland dog with the crab and the little onions on it or whatever, like they're like the crispy onion. I don't know what to call them. Onion straws. I don't know. It had me in another world.
Working lap number 24 out of 7. Working lap number 24 out of 70 here tonight from Auto Club Speedway. Travis Bieber, Joseph McWhorter, Barrett Morton. That's your top 3. Kevin Price and Andy Kurtz round out your top 5. And you know what? Here's the thing. We're looking at Bieber and McWhorter, our top 2 playoff drivers. Those guys aren't the ones that are worried right now. Those guys, they know that they're pretty well. And where did my mouse go? There we go. Started to get a little scary there. Those guys know that they're pretty well locked in, McWhorter and Bieber. But Duke and Wallace, they're the ones right at the bottom of that top 4. Brandon Wallace just 4 points ahead of Jeremiah Holt. Really, all Holt needs to do is finish ahead of Wallace.
Yeah, and I mean, for McWhorter, I think he can breathe a lot easier than Bieber can, because Bieber, I mean, he's only 9 points above the line. And, you know, you think to yourself, 9 points, like, it's not that large, but it's not that small of a gap, but it's still 9 cars just get around you. And that, I mean, you could go from first to 10th, and whoever, say Holt or Charles, those guys finish in first or second, it might be a different story for you. So Bieber, I think he's on the I don't want any doubt whatsoever here, so just going to put it out front. McWhorter racing more of just, I need a good points day.
I mean, without a doubt, sure. I mean, right now, in all reality, Holt, Aber, Price, and Libke are winning in. Brandon Wallace just needs to finish ahead of Jeremiah Holt to secure his spot there. But there are a lot of variables in the air right now with 43 to go here at Auto Club Speedway. Dave Regal and Jordan Brockell with you in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth. We want to thank all of you for tuning in and checking in with us in the YouTube.com live chat. Let us know who you're pulling for. And contact between the 114 and Doug Macedo in what should be the 35. I don't know what the 35 thought he was doing.
I don't know, but he almost got Kurtz there as well. As you can see, missing a front fender. He's going to go around here. He's going to try to save it. He's all over the track.
He is all over the track. He needs to bring that. It looks like he's got a broken front toe link. That wheel is cocked all the way to the right.
Yeah, and while looking for who that was, I noticed a name that's right behind him is the 78 of David Duke. Back in 22nd, a lap down.
I believe he did get a unsafe pit entrance. In fact, let me check in here with Dan Craykiel.
So that right there, I mean, that's a big playoff implications for him, as he's only 9 points to the good as well, just the same as Travis Bieber. So, if any of these guys finish, for Holt or Aber, if they finish 9 or 10 points ahead of him, or 10 positions ahead of him, they're going to put themselves right there, on his door. And I mean, I don't know what, what the situation would be based on, tiebreakers and all of that, but I mean, that's a big story right there.
We're going to play a little game here as we get to 30 laps out of 70, 40 to go. Jordan, look at your camera and tell me what you see.
I'm scared. Hold on, I gotta get this up in the forefront.
Well, folks, everybody's already heard the rants and the. Go ahead, tell the folks at home what you can see, because this is an audio medium for them.
I think this is the worst.
I'm going to do this with a straight face. Travis Bieber, Joseph McWhorter, and Barrett Morton lead the way here. 1, 2, 3, they go. Andy Kurtz and James Kaufman round out your top 5. Now, Charles Aber, running in 6th position right now, has the 7 machine, already down 4 spots. Now, he qualified on the outside of run number 1. But Travis Bieber right now absolutely locked in as he and Joseph McWhorter show the way here around this 2-mile speedway in Fontana, California.
I think every time I get myself somewhat together, I look to my left and I just see, for those of you that obviously cannot see him like I can, he had a hot dog hat on it. And I don't mean just like a hat with a logo of a hot dog. It is a full-on hot dog shaped hat with, it looks like mustard and ketchup on it.
Now, generally, I am not a catch-up on a hot dog. Battle for the lead. Joseph McWhorter looking to the inside. We'll get back to that in a minute. But McWhorter now looks to the inside of the 114. He has been battling all night long. He's up 22 positions. He's about to be up at 23rd. By the way, McWhorter with a connection issue. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. For the record, according to the Food Network, it is considered to be rude and impolite to put ketchup on a hot dog after the age of 10. I don't make the rules. I just follow them.
I won't lie. I did that today, so I don't care.
I'll file for divorce from you.
See, me, I'm more of a... I wouldn't be the only one. I'm a mustard and onions kind of guy, so...
It's always mustard and onions. Mustard, onions, maybe get yourself a little sauerkraut on there. Actually, best hot dog condiment area that I've been at in my life was at Baycare Ballpark in Clearwater, Florida. Joseph McWhorter is having some real connection issues as he's battling it out for the lead alongside the 114. But Baycare Ballpark in Clearwater, Florida, you can get all but anything you want on your hot dog.
I need that hat.
You what? I kept turning my head and I was afraid I was going to lose it. Now McWhorter takes over the lead. He's up 23. He can't gain any more spots than that as we go on board here with Barrett Morton out of Louisville, Kentucky. Now Morton was just down on lap number 22, one of the latecomers to pit road. We're starting to see everybody having gotten, with as many laps as they put on through that last run, 22. This may be a 3-stop race unless we get a caution, but look at McWhorter. He keeps blinking in and out. Race control may have to take a look at that because that's, especially up here when it's those 4 drivers all together, bad things can happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a split second for, Bieber to have a run, him to blink out long enough that, Bieber is in the same spot as him. And I mean, I haven't really seen it happen in a long time. I'm not sure what it does nowadays. As it looks like McWhorter goes down to the bottom here. Not sure if that was a told or if he's doing that just out of respect, but either way, has to get out of the way. But, yeah, certainly an issue there that's going to, again, another issue from a playoff driver that could certainly put him out of this thing. I know it's going to be a tough task for that to happen with the points that he has, but it's certainly not out of the question.
We have now crossed the halfway point, 35 laps to go here at Fontana, California. And I don't know if McWhorter, like you said, I don't know if he was told get out the way or if he did that out of courtesy. But now Andy Kurtz out of Quakertown, Pennsylvania, takes over the lead as he and Travis Bieber going to be the Pied Pipers of Auto Club Speedway. Dave Regal and Jordan Brockell with you in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth. Just 2 weeks left here in the Truck Series, this week and next. And then we get to fold things up here.
Oh, there goes McWhorter way down. I don't know if that... I don't know what happened, but he took a hard left turn to the inside.
Hey.
And he's dropping like a rock. Down to 10th now. I wonder if he just pulled it off to the side and has to bring it down pit road. So he continues to drop here.
Always check to make sure that you have enough to drink in your cup before you try to take a pill. Fortunately, they were liquid caps, so it was fine. Otherwise, you have to wrap it up in a piece of bologna for me. Andy Kurtz, Travis Bieber, Barrett Morton, your top 3, Charles Habert and James Kaufman. They make up your top 5. We're going to step aside and pay some bills here on Sim Racing Media, but don't go away. We're going to go NASCAR side-by-side right now as we hear from our good friends over at Glove Station.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name, We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. INVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. INVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about INVets, visit us at invets.org today.
Basket can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force it off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Trish on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Apromitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Welcome back to Fontana, California, where Barrett Morton is coming down pit road as we are in green flag pit cycle number 2. That's going to cede the lead over to Jamie Libke for the time being as she's going to come out of turn 4 and swing it wide just in front of the 74 of Mark Whitley. Crossing the start-finish line now, Jamie Libke going to get credit for leading another lap here in Elimination Week here in the INVets Truck Series on Goat Locker Racing.
Yeah, and one of the things we noticed during the break was McWhorter coming down and being on pit road, stopped, and I guess maybe trying to fix the connection of some sort or whatever it may be. Now back on track, but scored in 23rd position, 4 laps down, which, I mean, that is the worst spot that he can finish here tonight, as it looks like he didn't even pop up for a second there. But,
Yeah,
I mean,
he must
now
be
that's...
dealing with some kind of massive, massive connection issue. And I see these from St. Robert. There may be weather-related issues there, but right now Kyle Wilson in the 403, running in 13th position, just laid fast time down at 40.19 seconds.
Yeah, so, I mean, playoffs, man. It's always a big thing. Is Duke having his issues, McWhorter having, those issues. I mean, those two could easily be knocked out. I mean, a little harder for McWhorter to be knocked out than Duke, but I mean, those guys right there are certainly going to be on the edge of being knocked out if some of these other guys can, pull together really good, solid top 5, top 3 position, finishes. As like you said, Wilson here, P10 fastest lap with a 40.18 now.
Just taking a quick peek here at the old radar map. There was some stuff blowing through St. Robert, Missouri. Of course, right now it's working its way through Cape Girardeau, south of St. Louis. Who is Cape Girardeau, Missouri's favorite son? Or at least most famous son? That's tonight's poll question right here on Sim Racing Media. Who is the most famous person, quite frankly, one of the greatest people to ever come out of Cape Girardeau, Missouri? Now, this person will claim that Sacramento was his adopted hometown. There's your hint. It is a he, and Sacramento, California is his adopted hometown, but originally from Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
Got me fooled.
One of the most influential voices in my radio and broadcasting career. Travis Bieber, Andy Kurtz, Barrett Morton. There's your top 3. We see them again. Now, here's the thing. Noah Hoagie Hogard sitting just behind Travis Bieber. He's been trying to hold his own the last several weeks, but these guys are just showing him up time after time. Now, Andy Kurtz is now separated from Travis Bieber by the 158 of Noah Hogard. Barrett Morton running in third is just about 6.6 seconds, almost 6.7 seconds behind Kurtz. So, here's the thing, at least from what I can observe here, Travis Bieber running away with things for now. He came in about 3 laps earlier than Andy Kurtz. So Kurtz is going to have just that much more grip on those tires.
Yeah, and I mean, it comes down to it, later towards the end of this run, if we go full green, it's gonna, I think, kind of turn the table, as he's already moved it to within 0.2 of a second, just under 0.3 of a second, tracking to get up to the 114 here now. Now, when he gets to the back of that truck, that's when things start to change. The air gets different. The runs, you're gonna have to go where he isn't. And a lot of these guys running that high line to midline, as I say that, he goes down to the bottom to maybe try to cut off the 48 a little bit. But, you're going to want to be in his tracks up until you try to think about passing him. As you're going to see here, he might duck down, try to pull a side draft just at the end of this stretch here. We'll see as they head towards turn 1. It's going to stay in line with lap traffic just ahead.
Taking a look at the battle box, in our battle for the lead, just less than 0.2 of a second between Kurtz and Bieber. And Kurtz is almost going to have to use that lapped car as a get-around, if you will. Quite frankly, I don't blame him. Ugh. It's just getting more and more frustrating as we get around the 35 of Doug Macedo. And now, of course, the 158 has to get around Macedo. So Macedo's really... oh, never mind. Just kidding. Coming into pit road. That'll get
Side
him
by
out of the
side
way
now.
as they go side by side. giving each other plenty of room. And this is why we've got 18 laps to go and 0 cautions on the night, because these drivers are giving themselves the amount of space that's appropriate to race one another, not wreck one another.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just the way these people run and the way that every league across Goat Locker, does things. It's just clean, fun racing, and, of course you're going to have some rubbing fenders here and there, but I mean, these guys ultimately stay as clean as possible. And even when it comes down to racing for the win, they'll be they'll second guess maybe using the bumper, but looks as though Barrett Morton making another stop here. He's going to tumble down the line, down the standings here.
Well, but here's the thing. Morton coming in now makes a little bit of sense, because if you look here at the pit strategy in the middle of your screen, folks, there was about 22, 23 laps during that first run. Then about 19, they kind of shortened up that middle run. And right now, Andy Kurtz is out there with just 12 laps on these tires. 15, and now he's going to come down.
Yeah.
They know that they can't make it. So the question is, who was going to come down first, and and when they were going to make that call.
Yeah, and Morton making it as soon as he did, just coming down, getting fuel as well. So going to stay out on those tires, might be able to jump these guys and get by, and just hope that you can make enough of a gap. If they take tires, you can make enough of a gap that those tires won't matter as much. But see here as these guys go in, it looks like, I think they both went up on the right side. They did. So going to be a little bit longer stop. Yeah, that both trucks taking 4 tires here versus Morton just getting fuel. So he's going to be able to jump over these. Is 16 laps enough time to be able to hold off fresh tires of Kurtz and Bieber?
I mean, Kurtz and Bieber are both very competitive drivers as we work here with now 15 to go. Looks like Kyle Wilson and Charles Abert, they're going to come down pit road. That leaves Kaufman, Price, and Price atop the pile. Obviously, the price is right for the time being. Jamie Libke cycles into P4. James Kaufman, Kevin Price, and Jamie Libke, they're going to be cycled up there. Sean Kaiser running in P5 for the time being. Thank goodness his name isn't Kaiser Wilhelm. Big day tomorrow. Got to watch the smoke, yeah?
I feel like Libke at this moment in time is probably almost holding their breath, hoping for some kind of caution. To be able to come down, get fresh tire fuel, and try to hang on to some kind of position. And just looking at, they were down lap 46. They still need to make a stop, but maybe trying to prolong it as possible. I mean, at this point for them, they're going to throw everything, and including the kitchen sink, maybe even toss the refrigerator as well, to get everything they can and try to pull off a win, because it's going to take a ton. I mean, Travis Bieber goes quickest time of the race that last time by with a 40-12. As they both hunt down Barrett Morton. Again, Barrett just taking fuel that last stop. Still out on old tires.
Just saw a tick across the news screen that all the Cardinals have flown to Rome, and boy, are their wings tired. Get it, Cardinals, St. Louis? I don't know how they got all those people to go from St. Louis to Rome on an airplane.
I don't know. Might be a question for our one and only Alan.
No, I'm good. Alan, if you heard that question, just pretend we weren't even here.
He'll probably be like, they made a stop in Philadelphia, beat up on the Phillies, and then flew out. That's what he's going to say.
He wouldn't be wrong either. I am purposely going to May 12th's Phillies-Cardinals game at Citizens Bank Park.
Throw rocks at them. I mean, cheer loudly.
I was thinking there was a lady in Delaware County that got upset with a fellow motorist on the roadway and proceeded to make a number 2 on her hood.
I did see that. That's just that's a crazy side of road rage.
Road rage is a real thing in Philadelphia. They will defecate on your hood. Right now, the way that we sit, and this is kind of an interesting development, James Kaufman's been out there since lap number 43. Does he think he can get the 10 the rest of the way?
I mean, looking at 27 laps, which would be 4 laps longer than any stint we've seen so far tonight. Whitley went 24. Would he have that extra 3 laps?
Well, here's what I'm looking at. He's got 1360. He's gaining on Jamie Libke, who came down at lap 46. Kaufman, Libke, and Kaiser all last came down. Really, the top 4 all last came down in the 40s. Kaufman is extending his lead now to 13.75. He might be gambling on time and seeing if he can squeeze this out. If he can squeeze the fuel out, these next 9 laps may be nothing for him.
Well, my thing is we saw Whitley able to go 24 laps on a run. Does Libke have the strategy to go for 24 laps? Because 24 laps would go from 46 to 70. And that would be a really close run.
Nope. Here comes
Kaufman coming down.
All right, let's see what Libke does. Because, folks, this is starting to brew here. The 808 is down a lap. Libke is going to take over as your race leader. Now, she last came down in lap number 46. So she's right there at 24 laps on what would be this one set of tires. Maybe not necessarily the fastest driver out there right now, but has literally a 7-second lead, 8-second lead over Mark Whitley.
Yeah, so she could even maybe coast or clutch it to get a little bit more fuel mileage. As you see there, probably only about 3/4 throttle with the way that Brandon Wallace is able to step away just a touch. And you hear the clutch.
There it is.
Clutch goes in. Oh my!
Jamie
now I've got
Libke
the anxious
driving for the win. Did you feel that?
I've got goosebumps on my. I've got the shaky knees because I'm antsy. 7 laps to go here for Libke.
7 laps with a 7-second gap. Now we're going to play the numbers game. Let's watch Jamie Libke. Now, Libke has 7.3 over Andy Kurtz. Whitley just slid behind Kurtz. It's entirely possible that Libke is going to wind up being able to hold on to this. I just...
Yeah, if I'm her, I'm running that thing empty, and I don't care if I run out on 2 to go. I'm running that thing as dry as possible, and I'm hoping that the fumes just make me to the end. But
we know Libke is saving fuel. That means that she knows that she's right there on the edge. Now with 6 laps to go, it's a 6-second difference between Kurtz and Libke. So, folks, Kurtz is picking up a second a lap on Libke.
And she's was using the 73 to pull her around the track. Maybe saw that starting to dip and said it's time to go. Goes to the inside now and goes up to Wallace.
Jamie Libke with a 5.2 second lead and now 5 seconds to go. This is going to be incredible. Andy Kurtz in the 40 is... Who? Oh, my God. The 99 looks like they're blocking for Libke.
Or at least just trying to give as much of a push there as possible.
The 99 might be trying to push Libke. This could be the greatest move ever for Brandon Wallace.
Yeah, I mean, you're helping yourself. You're pulling yourself along with the 16 here. And
really
just trying to,
the
push them
smartest
forward.
move. Now it looks like Kurtz might have about 1 lap
Force.
advantage over Libke. It's almost like the 99 needs to get in front of Libke to be able to get, because right now Libke is nothing but a fuel pig. Let's go back here and look at where Andy Kurtz is. Right now, Libke is just hoping somebody takes Kurtz out. That's the only way that they're going to be able to knock one another out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, having that buffer of a truck between them two might actually come into play to be helpful for Libke. Is now Wallace going to go to around Libke?
And there it is. Now Libke's going to be able to save some of that fuel.
Going to go to the inside, go side by side with Wallace again. 3-second gap here with 3 to go.
Yeah, you've got to start to wonder here with 3 to go and less than 2 seconds, or less than 3 seconds between Kurtz and Libke. Who pulls this off? About a half lap left here before the popsicle sticks go up in the air. Jamie Libke looking to solidify her place in that round of 4 for next week. Oh, this is
Now
absolutely
just
the
a
hardest
2-second
fought
gap.
battle of the night. 2 seconds, and as the popsicle sticks go down or go up in the air, we're 2 laps to go.
I don't know about you, but my heart is definitely not able to take this right now as it's racing probably as fast as Libke's trying to keep, or as fast as Libke's heart's racing, just trying to bring this thing home. 2-second gap now,
The
dead
808
on
of,
2-second gap.
Look, the 808 of Brett Bieber. You know what? This is almost like Bieber and Wallace in the 99 both know that they've got to protect Libke if she wants to get that W. Bieber, not a playoff driver. The 99 at that cut line we talked about, but right now the popsicle sticks go down. The white flag is in the air, and we're racing back to checkers. Jamie Libke with control of the field. Brandon Wallace in the 99 knows that he can't get that lap back, which means that Jamie Libke could go from being the last driver below the cut line to replacing Wallace, oh my God, in the playoffs. The white flag in the air. We come into turn number 3. Jamie Libke leads the way ahead of Quakertown, Pennsylvania's Andy Kurtz and only PA's Travis Bieber. And as they come through turn number 4, the 48 not in the picture. Jamie Libke out of turn number 4 through the restart zone. And as she crosses the start-finish line, picking up her first win of the season, Jamie Libke seals the deal and gets into the championship 4 right here in the Goat Locker Racing INVets Truck Series.
I've got goosebumps that are standing incredibly tall, because how on earth do you run that lap 46 all the way through to lap 70 there?
Because there's no
my heart is
fuel
racing.
left in that thing.
Oh, my heart is racing, and it's going to beat out of my freaking chest right now. As that was an absolute... I mean, that was a clutch drive there. Kurtz going to come P2. Like, my heart is... I'm not kidding. My heart is a mile a minute right now.
Literally
for that driver of the 16.
3 of my favorite drivers in this league finished in the top 3. Like, if I was on DraftKings right now, I would have made some money tonight.
Oh, and Libke's the one that stops the streak.
And Libke's
well.
the one that stops the streak, as Whitley doesn't even finish on the podium. Wow. Well then.
So that's another thing too, is not only getting a win, moving in the playoffs, and ending the streak. I hope she has enough to do a little bit of a burnout here. Just a little bit of something.
Looks like Jamie
Even if it's just a little flip.
There we go.
Gotta have definitely had the little flip. I think it ran out just as they did the flip. Yeah, you hear the engine cut off on that thing.
Let's go ahead and see if we can get a hold of Jamie Libke. Let's check that all-important waiting room. Not there yet, but of course, Jamie Libke, Andy Kurtz, and Travis Bieber, they all finish in your top 3. And here is our race winner, Jamie Libke. Hey, Jamie, it's Dave up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, my God. You just went from bottom of the pile to transferring into the championship 4. How does this feel tonight?
I'm at a loss for words right now.
I
can't
mean,
believe that
you're allowed to
happened.
be, right? This is incredible. We just realized all of the things that just intersected for you tonight.
I was in a must-win situation, and
And you
the
won.
long run was the only thing I could come up with, and it worked.
Hey, look, this is what racing is all about, and sometimes, you've got to gamble and find your way to victory lane. And tonight, I mean, everything worked out just perfectly. The 99 and the 808 all but were blocking for you here in the closing laps. What kind of communication were you having with those drivers?
I had no communication with the 99. I was hoping he would get some more speed so that way I could hang off of his draft, but he didn't have that speed right in front of me like that. So it's like, okay, if you're not going to have that speed, you're holding me up. So I would get around him, and then he'd pass me again, and I'm getting that dirty air. So it was like I was trying everything I could to keep it as off the throttle, but geez, I ran out of fuel right after crossing the start-finish line. She was sputtering.
Yeah, we checked in once, and Jordan and I were like, I wonder if she's clutching in there. As soon as we got it onto the on-car camera, we heard you hit the clutch. It was like, uh oh, and I mean, then we were looking at the fact that you had like 7 seconds between you and Kurtz, and 7 laps to go, and Kurtz was gaining about 1 second per lap. So I mean, everything broke your way tonight. Just congratulations and welcome to that championship 4 for next week.
Yep. I'm in the spot for Final Four for 3 championship races next week. Hoy.
That's so exciting. Yeah, you're going to be a busy driver next week, that's for sure. But before we cut you loose and focus on next week, who do you need to thank and who helped you get it done tonight here on the 16 machine?
I definitely got to thank INVets for sponsoring the series, Goat Locker Racing for providing such an awesome home. It's big props to a lot of these guys for helping me along, encouraging me, constantly giving that feedback and helping me improve. Definitely got to thank my family for constantly giving support. And then, of course, you guys with Sim Racing Media for broadcasting the show. I always love watching the broadcast after I'm done. And then definitely got to give a shout out to all our sponsors: Lincoln Tech, Save 22, Hidden Wit Brewery, Cruisin' Classics, Nasty's Restaurant and Bar, Glove Station, Operation Valor, Jam Printing and Promotions, McConey Setup Shop, V-Speed, Sim Racing Media, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, Alexander PC, Sim Motion, and of course the platform we're all on, iRacing.
All right, my friend. Well, listen, congratulations once again on finally picking up that win in the season, the most important one on the season for sure. And we will see you next week in the Championship 4 at Texas Motor Speedway.
Absolutely, looking forward to it.
Thank you, Jamie. That, of course, the voice of Jamie Libke. And next up on the podium, I believe you're with him now, is Andy Kurtz out of Quakertown, PA.
What's up?
Hey, Andy Gurgis, Jordan in the booth. You had a great run there towards the end. Libke just having enough to, get across the start-finish line. You had about a gap of about 7 to 8 seconds there going into that after that last pit stop. And I mean, you see that gap slowly start to shrink, but ultimately, just a bit too much to overcome. When did you kind of think to yourself like, it's a little too far to get to?
Honestly, I thought he was gonna have to pit for fuel. I'm not sure how he made it, and it just lasted that long out there. I would have been like 5 laps short if I would have ran it out. So that I felt like that was way too much for me to save on such a big track. But yeah, he made it. So really good job by him managing his fuel.
And yeah, so I mean, you come into here, and Auto Club is it's not really a finesse track, but it's one of those tracks where it's very aero heavy, needing to kind of pull drafts and kind of run in different lines once you get to a truck, because it kind of seems like once you get to a truck, you kind of stall out a little bit there.
Yeah, they're definitely aero sensitive, but yeah, the setup felt really neutral, which was good. It really wasn't loose at all, except for like the first lap or two, and never really got tight on me as the run went on, and felt like you could really run wherever you wanted to. So I thought the racing was a lot of fun, and first run was fun when everyone was pretty close to each other. But yeah, it just felt like I felt like went through the race pretty well. Did all I could do. Just didn't think anyone would be able to make it on fuel. So, but that's racing. That's how it goes.
Absolutely. Sometimes different strategies go different ways than you expect. And I mean, again, it's just racing. But, you come P2 here tonight, and certainly can at before we set you loose there is.
Hey man. Yeah, thank you guys for putting on a good show for us. I think we just have one more race, so it's been an awesome season. Looking forward to closing it out at Texas, and yeah, want to thank Jam Printing and Promotions and Alexander PCs for being awesome partners with us.
Absolutely, man. Well, thank you for your time, and we'll be hopefully catching you next week.
Thanks, man. See ya.
As always, we thank Andy Kurtz out of Quakertown, Pennsylvania. And last but certainly not least, on our podium out of Ole, PA, representing half of the Route 73 Mafia, Travis Bieber. Hey, Travis, it's Dave up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good, man. Listen, you put up a good fight tonight, but Jamie Libke somehow, gambled and rolled the dice, and it came up her number. How do you feel, coming in now as you're going to basically be leading the playoff chase into Texas?
Yeah, no, it feels good. We were kind of talking about it beforehand that, as long as I'll say didn't do anything dumb, it was gonna put me into next week, and then I kind of got on the outside there at the start and kind of got out front, started leading, and I'll tell you, I guess I thought we had the right strategy, and obviously we did not have the right strategy because Jamie had the right strategy and won the race. So.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Half of the battle is having the right strategy. And I mean, you can't possibly foresee somebody being able to stretch their fuel that far. You can't possibly foresee it being, a flag-to-flag race with no cautions. And that's just the way that the chips fell tonight. But now, next week going into Texas, you're going to have a 7-point advantage over Jamie, who literally picked up the win just in the nick of time, who's going to come in P2. So it's going to be you, Jamie Libke, Joseph McWhorter, and Charles Abert. What's going to be the strategy next week besides full send?
Yeah. I mean, I think the race to Texas next week is probably going to look a lot like it did tonight. With there's going to be some drafting, there's going to be some tire wear. So next week's going to be about making the right calls and not making any mistakes. So I like running Texas. I like the track there. It's usually a pretty fun one to run on the game. So I'm looking forward to next week and getting a shot at the title.
All right, my friend. Well, listen, congratulations once again as you do make that run for the title next week. And before we cut you loose, who do you need to tip your helmet to, and who helped you get it done on the 114 machine tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank INVets, the title sponsor of the league. Thank you guys for all you do with the broadcast. Thank Goat Locker for putting on leagues all throughout the week for us to get out here and have some fun and support a good cause. And also want to thank Above the Yellow Line, Sim Motion, and iRacing. So appreciate it.
All right, my friend. Listen, congratulations. We'll see you next week at Texas Motor Speedway.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you. That, of course, the voice of Travis Bieber, driver of the number 114 Chevrolet Silverado, one half of the Route 73 Mafia from Ole, Pennsylvania. And as we get ready to dodge out of here, what an incredible race we had tonight, Jordan.
Absolutely. I mean, you had a mix of different strategies. You had, Jamie able to stretch that all the way to the end. You had side-by-side throughout the field, Travis and Kurtz going there at each other. And, the end of the streak for Whitley as well. So, just a number of different things happened. I don't think I could have for a better off And I see the championship race being just as action filled and certainly exciting.
Yeah, and once again, that championship race is going to be focused heavily on Travis Bieber, Jamie Libke, Joseph McWhorter, and Charles Abert, as they are your championship four for the 2025 Spring Series of the INVets GLR Truck Series. And one final look at our results from here at Auto Club Speedway. Jamie Libke captures the checkered flag and is joined on the podium by Andy Kurtz and Travis Bieber. Mark Whitley comes home in fourth, and Barrett Morton rounds out your top five. James Kaufman comes home in sixth with Kyle Wilson in seventh, Charles Abert in eighth, and Brock Price in ninth. And rounding out your top 10 is Matt Nidus. Kyle Deering and Kevin Price come home in 11th and 12th with Sean Kaiser, Corin Smith, Brandon Wallace, Brett Bieber, Jeremiah Holt, Dan Crakeel, Mark Cofield, and Noah Hogard making up your top 20, with Big David Duke, Douglas Macedo, Joseph McWhorter being your 23 drivers who took the green flag tonight. And, of course, Tyler Justice and Bobby Whitley not taking the start, not finishing the race, and a tough night for McWhorter in 23rd position after such a strong season as he ends things in the 72 tonight. Very unfortunately. But for myself, Dave Regal, and my broadcast partner extraordinaire, Mr. Jordan Brockel, we want to thank you for joining us tonight and every week right here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth. And tomorrow and every day as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.